D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? Welcome to my episode of Week in Review, where I go over 3 TV shows and I go over 3 Hollywood stories, and then I also go over 3 movies roughly, depending on if there's only 3 out for the weekend. And I know I haven't done it in a little bit, but I have been a little bit busy. So let's just dive right in and get started. So the first show I want to talk about is Cloak and Dagger. Now, for this episode, we saw Tandy, and she was stealing the hope from people, kind of like as a drug, and it was very interesting to see that. I have to admit, I've never really read a lot of Cloak and Dagger comic books, so I'm not 100% sure on these characters and like what they do and everything, but I do like this show. It's on Freeform, and I really I liked a lot of things about this episode. One thing that I did like was I liked the pastor or reverend, I'm not sure what his title is, but when he said you let the one bad thing in your life determine your life or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember, or define your life, and I really liked that line because it's so true. Tyrone is letting the death of his brother define his life, but I also think that it's just so great how he's very adamant about bringing down the corrupt cops to capture the killer of his brother. I really am more interested in Tandy's path, only because I really want to know what that power is underneath New Orleans, and I really would like to see something along the lines of that power has a connection to the magic of New Orleans and the whole voodoo thing. I just think that would be really something to see, but I really would like them to use more powers for this show. I know Freeform isn't like bursting with money, or maybe if they are, then they need to up the budget on this show, because in my opinion, the cast isn't huge, so I think that they could have more money for powers. Moving on to the next show, Suits. I love this show. The character Mike is not there anymore, neither is Rachel. Meghan Markle got married to a prince, but we did see the introduction of Samantha, and she's played by Katherine Heigl. Now, this was the second episode of the season, and I have to tell you right now, I know it's a little controversial with Katherine Heigl being cast, because the last 2 shows that she was in only lasted 1 season, and she has been kind of a little bit of a issue, like as far as the actress goes. But I really do like the character of Samantha, and in this episode, she went up against everybody, but not to stand up against them. She went because she was just trying to prove herself and her self-worth for the team, and she just wanted to be a team player. And I think the best scene for that was when she went up against the redhead. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Shoot. But she went up against her for her budget, and then she went over her head. And I think that was a good scene, but then it all rallied in the end, and I really can't wait for the rest of this season to see Samantha's growth and everything. The next show I want to talk about is Preacher. Now, I love this show. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of bummed about the first episode, because when I started watching that, they didn't have... It was more like a prequel to the comic books, and I've never read the comic books, but I was just expecting them to be on their mission to find God, and in this episode, or in the first season, they didn't do that, but in this episode, we saw Cass go on a vampire date, and then he was in the end abducted by a vampire cult, and that was interesting, and I can't wait to see next episode how what happens with that. Then we also saw Tula was on a mission to kill Grandma, and then in the end, we found out that because Grandma brought her back from death, that she connected their 2 life forces / souls together. So if Grandma dies, Tula dies, and Tula just wants to free Preacher from his blood bond or blood pact or whatever from Grandma, and she thought killing her would be the answer, and it's not. My favorite scenes in this show always are the scenes with Humperdoo. I can't get enough of Humperdoo. When he started tap dancing was the best, and then we also got to see the introduction of Allfather, and I thought that was really interesting, seeing that character. Now I want to move over to news, and the first story I want to talk about is James Gunn, and you probably heard about it at Comic-Con, James Gunn was fired from Disney over a bunch of tweets that happened in 2008, which is 10 years ago. He had a lot of tweets about child molestation, insulting women, and making fun of transgender people, and it got him in some hot water. And he was fired from Disney. Now, a lot of people have come to his defense, saying it was such a long time ago. There's a petition, and the last time I checked, it was at 300,000 signatures, and there's been some support from Hollywood and the acting community and everything. And I just have to say that I don't necessarily agree with his firing, but Disney had to do it, in my opinion, because they're a family company, and they just and I know they kind of toe that line, and they had to have known about this and everything, but it all came out all at once, and you can read some of those, and I don't think that a lot of those, first off, he was in a completely different place, and a lot of those tweets, I know he was trying to be funny, and some of them aren't funny, but I know he wasn't. I don't think that he meant any malice by it, but at the same time, Disney, you know, they don't want any controversy, and in my opinion, I do feel like every red carpet, every interview that James Gunn does from this point on, he would have to address that. And I don't know, maybe he'll be back to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Maybe they'll just let the, wait out the waters and see what happens. But I don't know. But that's that. Another non-story, but kind of a story, is that Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill will be in Episode 9, Star Wars Episode 9, and they're using, from what I understand, they're using footage from Star Wars The Force Awakens, and I can't wait to see that. I really am, I'm on the side of, I'm bummed that Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, was killed in Episode 8, but, I mean, what are you going to do? And then also, Carrie Fisher, the passing of her in real life was super bummed. And I can't wait to see them on screen again in any capacity and everything. And I am glad that they are using stock footage of Carrie Fisher instead of using the digital stuff that they use. And then for my last story, finally, the Fox-Disney deal has gone through and the merger will happen. And I know that a lot of people are excited about that because we'll finally get to see the X-Men and the Fantastic Four put in the MCU. And I'm excited about that. I don't know how I feel about the fact that a lot of jobs were lost because there's a lot of overlapping, but it is really, I really get sad when people lose their income and their jobs and stuff. It really is sad because I don't want to see anybody, even my worst enemy, lose their job and possibly not be able to provide for their family. So that part I am really bummed about, and I really hope Disney tries to do something to not fire as many people. And then, so for the movies that came out this weekend, the big one, in my opinion, the biggest one, was Mission Impossible Fallout. Now, I've seen this movie, and I can tell you right now, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. So, but I mean, that doesn't mean you'll like it. I can tell you right now, Henry Cavill, you may not like him as Superman, but I can tell you right now, what they do with him in this movie, and I'm not going to give anything away, but it is perfect for him, and I hope that whoever sees him in this movie, that they say, I want him in my movie for the same kind of role that he plays in this movie. And like I said, I'm not going to give anything away, but he's perfect for it, and I think he should try to get more jobs with that kind of role. Then also came out is Teen Titans Go. I haven't seen it. I don't plan on seeing it. I didn't like Teen Titans Go, the show, so I'm probably not going to see that. And then the last movie that came out that I want to talk about is Hot Summer Nights. Now, this was released... It wasn't released wide, it was a short release, but it looks pretty good. I probably won't be seeing it until it comes out on streaming or on, be able to rent or buy or whatever off iTunes and everything. So what's up next? Of course, we'll be discussing shows next week. It'll be the season finale of Cloak and Dagger, so watch out for that because I will hopefully be able to do a review of the entire season. But as far as movies go, we'll have Mile 22. And that is starring Mark Wahlberg. It's also got Ronda Rousey in it, and I don't know if that's the best choice just because she, in my opinion, has been proven not to be the best actress. I don't know if you guys saw her on Saturday Night Live. We also have Darkest Minds, and it looks like X-Men Light to me, but we'll see. We also have The Spy Who Dumped Me, and that's a comedy, and that one looks pretty good. And then also Christopher Robin, and I don't know if you saw my trailer reactions for it, but that movie looks so freaking cute, and of course, Ewan McGregor, He's just great and everything. So okay, well, tell me what you guys thought about the 3 shows that I watched this week. Did you like them? What do you hope that they do with them? What do you think about the 3 stories that I shared with you? Are you bummed about the whole James Gunn situation? Also, share with me any thoughts you have about this video down below. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you don't hit it, also share down below why you didn't like this video so I could try to improve. If you are a new subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. And I'll check you guys later. Bye.